Okay, we are going to be making a pinch pot. We're going to start by taking a chunk off of this so that we can add parts to our pinch pot later. You're going to take your ball of clay and you need to put it into a ball. It does not matter if it is a perfect ball or not, you just want to get it into a nice ball. Don't overplay with the clay, because if you overplay with it, it's going to dry out. The more that it dries out, the more it's going to crack. Stick your thumb into the ball of clay. You are going to stick it until you are about the distance from your finger and thumb. Okay, my thumb is in here, my finger's in here. My distance needs to be about the distance to my pinky finger. Okay, once I have that, I'm going to start by pinching at the bottom. If you see here, I've done some cutouts of what it's going to look as we go through the stages. The bottom right now looks like this. I am here at the very bottom. I'm going to pinch using my fingers mostly. My thumb's going to be on the inside, but I don't want to use my thumb too much or it's going to end up more of a bowl than a pot. So I'm going to use mostly my fingers. So I'm going to pinch at the bottom first, because if I don't start at the bottom, my pot might get too big or my thumb cannot reach the bottom. Then I'm going to move my fingers out a little bit. You can see here I'm at stage 2 here, and I'm going to pinch that. Again, I'm still working on getting it the size of my pinky finger. I'm going to keep pinching around. Working with clay is more a feel than to see, because I can't obviously see inside the pot. I'm going to move my fingers up again, and I'm going to just keep going around and pinching. I'm only changing it slowly. That's why I keep going in a circle with it. I do not want to go too quickly with changing the shape, because I do not want it to get too many cracks in there. Now I'm going to move my fingers up a little bit further. At this point, my pot's looking more like this, if you saw I cut out, where it's got more of a pocket on the inside and it's smaller along the top edges. I'm going to keep going around, and as I get further up, it's going to start looking like this cutout, where it is fatter around here, but just a big circle on the inside. Again, keeping it the same thickness. At this point, I'm going to start doing these top edges, and I'm using my thumb now because I want to push the pot out a little bit at the top. I want to get my pot so it's about the same thickness all the way around. And now if I were to cut it, you would see this shape, a nice even thickness. Okay, so I've got my pot. I don't want it too thin. If I get it too thin, then it's not going to hold itself up. It's going to start sagging like this. I do not want it to sag. I want it to have its own strength to hold itself. I'm going to feel it and check it, make sure it's same thickness everywhere. Okay. Once I'm done with that, I'm going to be able to lay my pot to the side. I'm going to be making a big mouth critter. So this is going to be the mouth of my critter. And I'm going to start attaching some pieces. So these are what I use for attaching pieces. I call it the 4 S's: slip, score, squish, smooth. Slip is when you take some water and you're going to make a spot wherever you're going to attach something, and you're going to make it sticky. You want it sticky, not shiny. I'm going to add an eye here. I'm going to make this part sticky. I'm going to take a ball of clay. I'm going to roll it into a ball. This is going to be the eye. I'm going to add some slip to the bottom. I'm going to make it sticky there as well. You always want to do it to both pieces that you're attaching. The next step is you're going to take a toothpick or whatever tool you're using, and you're going to scratch into the surface. You're making little lines. That is called scoring. I'm going to do the same thing where I'm going to attach the piece. Okay. Once I have that, back up. Scoring it is going to make the clay lock together to hold it together so it stays on. If you don't attach it correctly, it's not going to be attached when you take it out of the kiln. So I'm going to take it and I'm going to push. Now it says squish. I'm not going to totally flatten this because I don't want this ball to be flat. So what I'm going to do is I'm putting my fingers on the inside and I'm going to push down and I'm going to kind of twist at the same time. And when you're twisting it, you're going to feel it tighten up. It's kind of like when you're screwing a screw into a piece of wood. The more you twist it, the more it's going to tighten up. As it tightens up, you'll know that it is stuck to that clay. The last step is to smooth. You want to have everything smoothed on there. If you can smooth it down onto the piece you're attaching it to, that's going to give it just a little more support to make sure it's attached. Sometimes I will smooth it all the way around and get it on there, and then I might go ahead and put a little crease around there if I want to leave a dent. But you can see I have one eye attached here. If you want to add other pieces, you can do the same. I like to sometimes put an eyelid on mine, so I form it kind of like a football shape, a little long football, kind of pointy at the ends like a football is, and fatter in the middle. Then I'm going to attach again. I'm going to use the 4 S's. I'm going to put slip. I'm going to rub it until it's sticky, not necessarily shiny. I want it sticky. Then I'm going to do the same thing to where I'm going to attach it. I'm going to attach it right here. Again, rub it until it's sticky, not just shiny, sticky. And then I'm going to score it. I'm going to score the piece I'm putting on, and I'm going to score it to the piece that I'm attaching it to. I'm going to put this all the way across here, and then I'm going to wrap it over. You can see where I'm wrapping it over, and this one I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to squash, not just twist. Okay, and then I'm going to start smoothing it. I'm going to attach this here. I'm going to smooth it in onto the piece, and I'm going to attach this here, and I'm going to smooth it here. I'm going to smooth it around, and right now it looks like an eyelid there. On the back, you can see I don't want to see the ball, so I'm going to just, again, smooth it. I'm going to smooth it onto the ball so that it makes it more of an eyelid. Okay. You're going to be able to continue adding pieces to your project to turn it into whatever critter or creature you want to turn it into. I think I'll make this a cyclops. So I'm going to add some pieces in the inside. I've kind of got it tilted back so you can see the mouth. Maybe I might want to add a fish in here. If I'm going to add a fish in there, most of the fish I want to just mold into the shape of a fish so that I'm not attaching as many pieces. The more you attach, the more chances are you're going to have something fall off. So I'm going to start my fish by shaping his tail, and then I'm going to give him a fin. I can shape his fin here. If I didn't have enough clay there, I could go ahead and attach it by using the 4 S's. Okay, at this point I'm going to put some slip here. I'm using a little water, again making it as sticky as I can. I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to put this inside his mouth so it looks like he's eating it. And then I'm going to score. And I'm going to score where I'm going to be attaching him. I'm going to go ahead and give him an eye. I'm just going to poke the toothpick through so that I don't have this puckering out here. I'm going to squish it down and then poke it back through just a little bit. And I've got an eye for my fish. I've got both pieces scored, so I'm going to take my piece and I'm going to put my fish in here. I'm going to kind of put him at a slant. I'm going to twist him, rock him back and forth, pressing it down so I'm attaching him, and then I'm going to smooth him out. Get him the way I want him. If you're going to put pieces inside your critter, you're going to want to make sure that you have the piece done inside first before you add anything like teeth or things like that. If you want to add teeth, you're going to do slip and score. So I'm going to actually add these teeth. I'm going to take a piece, I'm going to roll it out, I'm going to flatten it out, and to actually form the teeth, I'm going to put this on first and then form the teeth later. So I'm getting this kind of a shape. I'm going to slip. I'm going to slip up here because this is where his teeth are going to go. And then I'm going to score. And I'm going to score. Remember, if you are not attaching this correctly, it will not be attached when you get it back. There's a good chance that it will fall off. So I'm going to take this and I'm going to press this in here. I'm going to squish it, okay, and I'm going to smooth it out. Get it the way I want it. Now I'm going to form the teeth by taking my toothpick and pushing it up here. It's going to split my clay into pieces, and then I can work my fingers in there and I can form the teeth carefully. Sometimes it doesn't work so easy, sometimes it does. You're just going to keep working with it until you get what you like. Okay, if you need to use the toothpick more, you can use the toothpick. My fingers are a little bit big here. That's okay, I will get it. If you want to attach each tooth individually, you can do that. It's up to you. Just smooth it out. However you have it, if it's rough, when you turn it in, it's going to be rough when you finish firing it. And the more rough parts you have, the sharper it is, because it will dry hard like a glass. So I'm going to work with it, get what I want, and I've got some teeth attached to my critter. If I want to add tails, I can add tails. I'm going to take this piece, kind of try and make it a little fatter at the bottom, or actually this is going to be the top because I'm going to split it into a fork. I'm going to take this, I'm going to slip. I'm going to put slip back here where I'm going to attach the tail. I'm going to score. I'm going to score this piece. And then I'm going to attach it. Press it in there, make sure it stays. Smooth it out so I know it's going to stay. Remember, it's got to be attached correctly. And then I'm going to kind of take this and I'm going to split this. I'm going to kind of turn those into little forks. You can see it kind of looks like a little funny looking tail, but it works. Smooth it out. My fingers are getting really sticky. It's okay. Okay. If you want to add any feet to it, you can take your clay. You're going to form it into little triangle shapes. Okay, there's one foot. Form this other foot into a little triangle shape. Okay, there's 2 feet. I'm going to slip and score on the back side. Slip, slip. I'm going to attach his feet to the bottom down here. Slip and slip. A little more water if you need to. Don't over water yours. If you get too much water, it starts getting like flimsier and skinnier and weaker. You want to keep this clay strong enough to hold itself up. If you happen to not have it strong enough to hold itself up, let me know and I will put some paper inside to help you out. But if you have paper inside the mouth, it's going to be harder to add objects inside the mouth. Okay, squish and smooth. Again here, going to squish it and smooth it so it's attached. Okay, you can see I've got some feet now. I'm going to go ahead and split his feet like this, 2 little marks, 2 little marks. I'm just cutting it right through the clay right there. And then I'm going to take his toes and I'm going to spread them out a little bit. Spread it out. And then smooth whatever you need to smooth. Pick them up. Work with them carefully. Do your best and see what you end up with. So this is, I guess this is my, I'm not sure what he is, Cyclops, snake, I don't know. He's kind of a mix of a bunch of things. So this is what I have. Okay, I'm going to set him here. Just as a reminder, you are going to do your pinch pot. Pinch pot, you're going to stick your thumb in through the ball of clay. You're going to start at the bottom, work your way out, keep it going evenly. As you do it, you'll feel a pit inside, and then it'll grow larger. Remember, keep your walls even all the way around, and then your last part will turn it into a cup. You'll then turn that pinch pot sideways, and then to attach your pieces, you're going to use your 4 S's. Slip, score, squish, smooth. Thank you very much. Have fun.